of working on a tool prototype. Using 7018 3/32 rods because this tool is actually, it holds a lot of pressure, so it compresses the spring in order for me to get it to hold that amount of pressure. I know I use a 7018 and it's 1,000 pounds per square inch. So this is the beginning of the tool. And sometimes you use different things that you have, but I had to sit around and try to figure out a way that I can do it. The bottom of it sits in here. This is for extra support. It's actually an extra pipe, schedule 40 pipe, but it's only have I think it's a 1/2 inch opening. And then I have this solid rod, and it only screws down so much, which gives me enough to actually get the clearance I need on this particular device that I'm trying to make a tool for. So the next step, add a little bit more weld in there. got that part. Now I need to make some type of catcher to keep this top from spinning. This is the ideal of it. You see, this is shorter because of where it needs to go. This is longer. This neck on here is for extra support, so when it press down on it, and we're going to use the impact bolt right here. So I'm not done with this. That's stabilized. That won't work, fam. I gotta find something. See, when you're building your prototype, you always look at scrap pieces. Building your prototypes, you always have to find different things to work to do what you're trying to do. And that's what I'm trying to do. Come up with actually a way this could actually work for me. To be able to kill 7 birds with 1 stone. See this L bracket. It's pretty strong, but I don't know if it's strong enough. I found the L bracket I can cut in half and use too. might use this. Cut it in half first. Next step. And actually it takes a minute, man, to mess around when you messing with your prototype. I've been working on this idea for a few days, but it's all about getting started and how you want it to turn out. So my goal is I might have to have some stoppers on the side. You see how it spins? I'm thinking it might make this deal spin, so I might have to have a stopper on the side like that. Come down far enough to catch it and keep it from spinning. So if that's the case, I'm gonna go measure it, because I might have to make it oval shape because of how wide it is. It might need to be a little wider on both sides. And that's all about, you know, like I say, certain things you do, you don't want to weld out until you actually know it works. This part, I know this works. I got this part done, this assembly. So, and like I say, this is just the prototype part of it. I want to make sure it works, and then I can actually tell you my idea. I can actually share more with you with my idea once I finish with it. But like I say, the goal is to kill 7 birds with one stone with this one. I have to step outside and use my lighting. You know what? Family, I thought I had my lighting here, and I think it's in my truck. Man, I'm gonna have to retrieve it. It says this. I actually had that running while I'm welding. It sucks the fumes out pretty good. When I'm over here by that, since that had that window right there, and I had that type of fan, it just, I utilized what I had at the moment. Actually put this together. I'm gonna run out here and grab a couple things. So leave y'all for a quick second. Like I say, I'm building prototypes. I started out a few different ways. I'm trying to do this. This is one way that I started because I had to push this over. It didn't need to be in the center because this got a center hole. I need this bolt to be more this way. That way I had more of a catching ground here. But the problem with this wood, it's flat across. The deal is like an oval shape. So I needed it to be like a cup. So I had to find something else that was metal, which I'm gonna show you what I used later. Um, it was actually a shackle brace that I took off two of them that I didn't get a chance to use, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna use this for that, so I can be able to make this prototype. So it all depends on what you got, but you got to use what you got. You know what I mean? Run out here and grab this. took longer than I expected to find this light, but I got the proper measurements needed to pull this off. Let's go. We give you that one brace. Actually opens. So this might be extra, but it actually needs to be. If I could make this long, let's just make it go down. Really need a piece of this to be cut. So I gotta figure that out. And don't have a guide skinny enough. See, finally, when you're making stuff, you have to have some extra strap metal. And since I'm just getting this area, I don't have a lot of extra pieces that I normally had just sitting around. Normally have a lot of different pieces sitting around, but right now, it is what it is. So right now, I don't have a lot of extra pieces. But I think this will work. I really do. But I wish I had another flat. That was the complete length. Opens. gonna have to go out here and put it on there and see how it's going to fit before I actually put this on there, because it honestly might not need it. But if so, I would rather cut a strip out of here. So if I got to, I'm gonna cut a strip out of this angle. It's a lot thicker. This here it would work if it was long enough, but I don't think it'll work properly. That's fine. We got to go down. That's 4.5, so we need to go down a half inch. That should be plenty. Sometimes you have to multitask. I think we need to cut this. So, this is how it's going to be. This is when it's loose. Use the impact to hit this. Let's bring this down. Right now we got about a half inch right within here to bring it down. This is just an extra spacer, just in case. If you give me more than that, but this rod is stopped spinning here, so I don't believe we got to go further than that. And I believe if it stopped right there, that's literally 4.5. So pretty much what this spacer is. Going up just a little bit, giving me about an extra quarter on it. So I can literally cut a quarter out of this, and it'll make it just what I need. So I'm sitting here working on this prototype. So, you know, when you're building certain things, you don't know exactly how you need to line it out until you actually line it out. And then you be like, you know what? I see what I need to do now with this. So that's what I'm doing now. Reposition this just for a second. because I need to cut this. Cut this off about a 1/4 inch. So my goal is to build a tool to build a needed tool, and I think I got what I needed. I needed a little spacer just to get me right over the hump, and that's what that did. So when you starting out doing this, man, it's all a trial and error. Go. And it was just for extra space. So I had to put that piece on there. So now, as you see, I wanted to, since this pin stopped right here, it stopped the threads. I wanted to make it stop right where the threads was. So now I got exactly how long I need to it, so it can't go no lower than that. Well, really, I don't know. We'll see. We're going to see how this works. Because actually, now that I look at it, I could go down. Well, that should be good. That should be good. We're going to see how it turns out. So it locks up like this. So this is the ideal of it right now. I'm going to see if it works. And if everything works right, the impact, I'll suck this down to compress the spring. So the spring only need to go down about a ½ inch, and you got an inch that you could actually work with to bring it down. So if they need to go down a ½ inch, we got an inch of clearance here to push it. And I had to go with something stronger because earlier I showed a video, I tried to use this one. And you see I bent it back, but it's kind of wobbly. It really warped it real good. I just bent it back kind of straight a little bit, but it's still, you know, this wasn't strong enough. So I had to go with a thicker piece that was actually solid with it was actually an anchor bolt. This is the bottom of the anchor when you put them in the concrete. and I cut that part off and put it on here. I could actually was going to do it like this, but then I didn't want nothing else in my way, so I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to cut it off. But that actually would have gave me a little bit more support even if I'd have welded in there, but I didn't want it to interfere with this pocket here. So like I said, you have to, it's all trial and error when you're building certain stuff. So I'll be checking back in with y'all later. Like I said, it's still early. I'm gonna see if this tool works, and if it works, I'm gonna jump back in on it and see if I can get it to go in. I'm gonna probably work on it a little later because it's early in the morning, but I wanted to go and do what I could do on this tool now because I had the moment and I'm thinking, and I couldn't, you know, you had those thoughts in your mind. You're like, man, I can't sleep. I gotta figure out a way to build this. So I wanted to actually figure out a way to do this so that way I could actually duplicate it, and then I know it'll be a great asset for somebody else, you know what I mean? So a lot of times when you have a problem in your life, you can literally create something that can help solve your problem and help somebody else solve their problem, you know what I mean? So that's literally what I'm doing. So my goal is to lead by example with this one. I still have like a few things to do. If this other deal doesn't work, I'm gonna use these here as a guide. So we're gonna see how this is gonna work though, but I think this right here is gonna work. I'm gonna see how everything goes, but this is pretty strong, and I use 7018 because it can hold 70,000 pounds per square inch, and even though the welds are, well, I got one complete inch all the way around it to help, you know, it keeps structurally sound. So that's 70,000 pounds, which probably give me at least, if I would say, if it's not a completely square inch, I at least have 35,000 pounds. And I know that deal ain't that heavy, but it's probably heavy though. So I'm gonna see how this is gonna turn out, and we should have a nice tool here to be able to use, to be able to compress it. So that's my goal. I seen another one that actually had it going across like this here, and it had two of them. Like, see how they got these holes here, and it had the bolts coming here to do it. And I see how that'll compress both of them at the same time. But I was like, man, let me see, because I didn't have that. I said, well, let me see if I can find something else to actually make something different. So I'm gonna make my own tool. So that's what I'm doing. That's what we can do as welders. We can sit back and tweak, and, you know, as we grow our skills and fabricate and engineer, there's so much things we can do, you know what I mean? So we can use what we got to actually get us over the hump, to make money, products over talent, and actually help us in a situation when we're in the bind. So I'm up working on this, trying to kill 7 birds with 1 stone, and just checking in with y'all, and just showing you, hey, use what you got to get to where you're going. Hold on.